Hi, my name is Steph. If you'd like to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support, today we're going to scry a sacred sepia ink blot made in the name and honor of subscribers. To all the OG original subscribers and to those that are new here, thank you so much for being here. I see you, I feel you, I sense you, and I'm so grateful for your presence as it is powerful. So we're going to scry this ink. We're going to add on Oracle in the Shaman's Palm configuration going through the caves. And as well, we have Ghost Tube, but we have Ghost Tube Seer. So it's a visual one you'll see from below as well. So no audio other than my yammerings. But you know the drill. Receive or release freely, always. You're welcome to open up with me, or you can fast forward through a few moments, whatever feels good to you. Taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of subscribers. Thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your sacred aura. Let's go. All right, so here's the ink blot. You know the drill. If you see, sense, or feel anything, always follow that first versus my yammerings. But I appreciate the space being held. And this is Ghost Tube Seer, so images may pop up. Receive or release freely. We have some cards that came through here, some auric cards, the light and Keros for what was kind of supporting and inspiring this reading. And we'll add on the shaman's cards in just a moment. Let's scry on. Safe scrying, seers. Okay. So down in here, right here, I am seeing a candle. It feels like an energy. It feels like, oh, if I may, a torch of some sort. Could be a spirit or a spirit guide. Also like an ancient ancestor. I'm going to use that term very specifically. This ancestor does not, I'm not getting the sense it has anything to do with necessarily your lineage in the here and now. Like if you were to follow like a typical ancestry. However, it's like they've been following your ancestry of all these different lifetimes and existences and incarnations, whatever the case may be. So it's like, I don't know if they're like a lineage guardian or something along that lines. I see them coming towards you. But there's a slight hesitancy, your knowledge, your instinct and intuition holds time and space for discernment. And this is appreciated as this, I'm going to say just spirit. I don't know if they're, at one point in time they were in the afterlife, but they have ascended in different realms, and it's not even just up or down. I'm kind of seeing it like a grid. Yeah, it's a grid of some sort. So I don't need to get constipated on that. They come with 2 animals, and these animals are to help you feel the friendliness. So once I feel that I receive this, yeah, I'm going to say receive this guardian, is what I'm going to call it. I feel as though like I go on this, I'm going to say truck, jaunt, journey, whatever the case may be. And journey not indicating is because as soon as I kind of use the word journey, I imply, or I feel like it implies anyway, some sort of time and then space, right? If I'm going on a journey, there's an A to B and there's this gap in between. So I want to use the word journey because it's simple, but the way I'm feeling it is that I'm actually, it's not that much. Okay, so I'll kind of show you the way I'm seeing it, because right in here I'm seeing a double-headed dragonfly. And as I see this double-headed dragonfly, I'm realizing in the moment, I'm not actually seeing a double-headed dragonfly. I somehow, or you subscribers, if you are navigating this point and it's like, oh, there it is. You know what I mean? Like trying to just find that degree that works for you. And I can see either myself or a version of myself, someone, something, job, career, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to speak very oracally here because it feels large. But in that moment, say even as an observer of myself in being one of these dragonflies, it's not double-headed. I'm actually noticing the space that the mirror or the veil, the threshold, insert any word that feels good to you. That's what I'm noticing. And I'm like, oh, it's not double-headed. or, you know, self and spirit, mind and body. Apply any masculine, apply any duality you'd like. But it's like, oh, I noticed that that gap is kind of where this journey's happening. But it's not indicative of time and space. And I'm not trying to be overly cryptic by saying that. It's just how it feels. It's just how it feels. So I'm going to be guided. This candle, torch, light. Okay. You're going to be handed, or you've already been handed, the torch. But it's like somehow I'm seeing a candle being handed to you. And perhaps it's symbolic for you of going within, very hermit style, or inner awareness, because it does feel inner, because I'm going to say the word deeper in a minute, and I could see we're going deeper, but it's like the word journey. It's not indicating necessarily coming into a space of like a crawl space. Anyway, it's not the point. The candle comes forward and becomes the torch, and you're being handed the torch. Okay, so this torch, this guide is like the big torch of sorts. And I feel like, if I didn't say already, like, are they following your family line or something like that, or keeping an eye on it? I don't know what it is, but it's like, because your candle is lit and your flame has been growing in whatever area or context something is in, and we can go together. And when I say deeper, it doesn't necessarily mean, it just means inner. That's how I'm hearing it. It feels inner. And maybe you are looking at your ancestry from a topical space. And I mean, just in this time space, in this line of love, because it's like I'm seeing a spider web. Not all the players have been in the same positions, and there's some new ones, and there's different ones that pop in for certain maybe focuses. I'm not sure. Okay, so we reach this this level, and it's going to give me an opportunity, me being in the aura of possibly you, if this is your scry story. But if it's not, thank you for holding space for others to receive it. And thank you again, subscribers, for being who you are. I meet another guide. And this is the thing. So it's like, this one takes me there, to this threshold of sorts. And this one steps in. Here's the interesting thing. Unbeknownst to me, the way I'm feeling right now, because I'm hearing take the lead. Okay, take the lead. Leading with your light, your torch, your candle, whatever the case is. Turn. Move the light around so you can see. But unbeknownst to me, because I know there's this guide with me behind me, because he can't do it for me. It is masculine energy, and it's being expressed as male. Okay, but unbeknownst to me, I know I keep saying that, there's actually one in front of me. So it feels almost like it's not a marathon. Because I'm seeing a baton being handed. Okay, so then I meet this jackrabbit of sorts, this rabbit. He helps me. Okay, so this is why it's so masculine, because I'm in the fire of it. Okay, so when I meet these rabbits, it's as though I can meet, I'm going to use the word fears. But I'm hearing fears that I have followed in an effort to not be fearful. That's a tongue twister at best. I don't know what that means. So, but in the negative space here, it's almost as though I can see a flower being bloomed, but this flower in stages is it's revealing. Okay, it's either revealing a fish for some, a cow for some, a cat for others, and possibly a snake for others, a serpent specifically as something about knowledge. So there might be something that I was following that was, it could even be like information. Give me a moment here. Okay, so thank you. That's helpful. Because when I come down here, it's like when I work through, let's say, this fear, and not if somebody's like, I'm not scared of anything or whatever, but this is kind of like seeing in the dark things that I might not assume that I have off-putting. It feels off-putting. It's kind of like I note that when it's like in that thing when, you know, it's like being on a debate team, and this is not my area at all, but hopefully I'll be okay with it. It's like being on a debate team, but being able to debate either side. This is what this feels like. Again, I'm observing with that mirror. It's like I could see debate A, debate B. I'm assuming it's the same topic, and your awareness is broad. It can move the candle, the torch, and actually debate both sides. This isn't like being indecisive. It feels like I'm listening to information. So when I make a decision, it's because I can discern from both sides. I don't know, but hopefully, if I even explain that correctly, hopefully that makes sense to somebody. Because then I put on like these navigator, aviation, steampunk kind of glasses, and then I start to dissect. That's how I'm hearing it. Then I can dissect what I'm discerning. Okay, let's start putting, thank you, on the caves. And it's almost like they're magnifying. They can go boop, 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 boop. You know, it's like a jeweler or something like that. And I can look at these gems. These gems. Yes, I can look at these gems. And there's that grid I was talking about earlier. Oh, I didn't even notice. Something about water. And it's like I can see the night sky as another ocean. Yeah, or a sea. So it's kind of like astral traveling on a boat, but in the sky. Yeah, we're still here. Shaman of Stars. See, that's what I'm talking about. Sorry, and we're in the cave of ice. There's more knowledge coming down. There's more guides coming down. There's more information coming down. Okay, so I want to just note on one side as well that for some, this candle energy coming forward, guided candle energy, there's something about anger or, you know, irritation for expectations. Because then I'm hearing again, like in that mirror, it's like maybe I've been taught, told, or I don't know what it is, something about expectations. And if something doesn't work out that way, I get very frustrated, or I get a little irritated or irate, I just heard. So as this guide steps forward, because there's something about, again, in whatever realm that you may be able to wrap your heart and mind around it, in that debating each side. So you're neither, there's compassion for, like, was it Frankenstein? And the town comes running with pitchforks and torches, and your awareness again jumps out, and it's like you might be in the pitchfork and torches, or you might be the Frankenstein, one or the other. And then you have at least a compassion or an understanding of seeing everything at play and why they're there. You have understanding of that, and then something sparks for, like, in that debating of both sides, to what decision you're going to make in moving forward for you, because inevitably that's what you can control. That's what you can really only have expectations of. Because I feel like there's a little part of me that is a little pissy about some sort of expectations that didn't work out to the way I was told or expected, the way to expect it. And I understand that I'm yammering on here and I'm going to allow it to happen. And it's like, as this guide comes closer to me, or maybe you've already reached this realization, but it's in many different contexts, or again, you're going deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're like, oh, okay, there's, you know, wherever the seed is or the source is. And I'm like, I'm going to relieve things of expectations by others' points of view. They might be inspiring. They might be damning in some way, shape, or form. But nonetheless, it's just information. I'm not going to emotionally attach into it to form my predisposed experience to have an expectation. It's like I have it as information to reference, but it's not mine. It's not mine. I haven't had that experience yet to come to my own conclusion. And though conclusion is not finite. So anyway, sorry, long story short, it's like this candle monk spirit guide comes forward. And as you're discerning and deciding, because they are also coming in slowly to notice if you are another candle or a firecracker. And I think that's just human, right? That's part of the human experience. I hope that made sense. So nonetheless, in the cave of ice here, we have the shaman of stars. And this is where it makes me just feel like when, just as I was saying, like looking at the backdrop of space, of the sky, of the ocean as the ocean. Nothing's come up in the ghost tube either here, eh? No? Okay. That's all right. Oh, sorry. That's all right. So that's how it's making me feel. Because there's like a little angry bird I'm seeing in here, but it works with those rabbits of fear and the fertility of it. And then coming into the cave of winds, it's the wisdom. See, there's the boat. Oh my goodness, I get excited sometimes. All lines. There's the boat in the sky, the sea of the sky, the sea of the sky. And I'm sailing through my own wisdoms. It's like I'm coming to a conclusion of my own wisdoms. But I'm working with a wisdom worker, which is the irony. And the funny thing is that while there's one behind me and unbeknownst to me, there's one in front of me, I am receiving my how I want to work my own wisdoms. Because again, there's that awareness of accountability and responsibility. Yes, it's beautiful. So coming into the cave of hearth fires, it's like now I have a vision. Which star, which guide is going to step forward? Which candle maker? Some of you also might be candle makers or something along that lines. Or maybe you'll buy a sacred candle, or this candle will represent something for you. Sorry, there's something else I saw in there as well. Oh, did I lose it? Okay, so there is like no, this is a dragon. It's like I'm seeing a dragon fly. There's the long tail. I think it's a dragon anyway. It could be phoenix energy as well. And it's coming up through the third eye. And I wanted to call it the third eye temple. Like I know how we have the temples, but I also wanted to know it felt like a temple. Some also might find value in doing like a third eye massage. I'm also seeing cupids, the concepts of cupids. Ancestor of knowing is in your cave of feeling and shaman of purification. And I will leave that as they are. And how brilliant is that? Because this feels like the torch. You know, sometimes like it is what it is, but oh, it's because I have the candle going. It's my own light. It's my own light. This is what it makes me feel like. Your wisdom. You know your wisdom's in your mind. And I don't know if for some it's okay. Give me a moment. The purge and the purifying of concepts and perspectives that I've realized aren't mine, maybe from when I was a child or a different timeline, or even like from a different part of the world, whatever the case is. And then I reconcile here on earth. There is a reconciliation, dancer of reconciliation here on my earthly existence in the here and now. There's something about in a creepy way, like it's not Cousin It. What is it? It from Stephen King's It. It's a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little creepy. Because I can also see like what is that? It's like a goat hanging from a goatee. Okay, so it's almost as if I'm seeing like from that mirror of the double-headed dragonfly, and it's horizontal. No, sorry, it's vertical this way. It's like one's looking here and I can see it there. And then it's like, and I feel like I just went in Doctor Strange, that movie, where they have the ability, and again, I think she's like a monk, I don't know, but to move like landscapes, and it becomes horizontal. And then it's like looking, above or below. But this allows me to walk the talk, to reconcile maybe other things. See, and there's those two guides. They are both of shadow and of light. It's almost as if, how do I say? It's like, say you're standing, sunny day or, overcast or whatever. Anyway, you're standing there and you can see your shadow. That's the inner. That's where I'm going. It's like somehow this going deeper, going inner, is actually going within my shadow. But my shadow is only so large because of the light behind me or with me that I carry. Like, that's what creates it, so I can see it. And I want to see that. And it's not because the shadow aspect, or it doesn't even have to be into the self I just heard. It could be in relation to the way I perceive other things, other people, or other things. And you have this grand awareness of that because it's almost like you're poking your own psychology and your senses. And this guide comes forward to help you go in there. And then, interesting, so it's like I did like this trust fall all of a sudden, and I fell back into the shadow. I mean, literally my shadow, like looking on the sidewalk or the ground or, the gravel. And then as I lay back in the shadow and I'm looking up at the sky, that is the sea of the stars, I see my light. I see my light, which is one of the stars. I understand this is all very abstract, but it is what it is. Okay. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna add on some native oracle before I get ready to leave you for the day. Yep, see that elder. I think you are becoming you are being handed the torch to be the elder of your existence. That's how this is feeling. Spirit Keeper of the North is on the bottom. North Star. Illumination. This is what you can see. And it's like you can even sense maybe when the moon or the star or this candle guide is another star. And it catches your eye. And I mean like star in the sky. And it like twinkles at you. Does this make sense? It does make sense. I'll flip it for another time, subscribers, so I don't take up too much of your time. So we have here Sweat Lodge and White Buffalo, Elder and Grandmother Earth, and then Sacred Mountain and your Cave of Earth. It's the temple, the tangible temple here on earth. And it's almost like there's no need to fight or have conflict within, say, the spiritual self or the energetic self to the earthly self. The essence flows between the two realms fluently. It's like focusing on the essence and where to have the best experience, the learning experience, the exhilaration, the empathy. It's the wisdom, the elder wisdom, your ancestors of knowing, your wisdom, because even with Grandmother Earth and Sacred Mountain, it's like walking here and appreciating the beauty while being in like boots to the mud of it. As perhaps what you've been guided to go through by, okay, so I'm going to say that and receive or release freely, a galactic guidance system. So it's almost like I'm seeing I don't know, like a navigation system in a car or something, but it's connected galactically. Your knowing is enhancing because you've released, purified, and reconciled differences, because you're realizing differences aren't damning. So something's being enhanced because you're being handed this torch to carry some sort of knowing. But with that, it's like to go into to de-thaw. You go into the, because there's a lot of fire and water here, and to de-thaw these visions that you might be having, these visions that you want for yourself, for the world, for the future. I have to take time within the self. And maybe you just need, need a good salt bath every so often. Maybe this doesn't have to be some major existential, I don't even know how to say that word, existential crises or anything like that. This could just be something implementing within the day, within the week, within the month. You go for a salt bath, or you go for a meditative walk, or you go grounding in the forest or something like that. You fold and put all your laundry away once a month versus living out of a laundry basket, or you clean your car or your vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to bring it down into the material mundane, because I keep like feeling this is the landscape you're in. This is where boots to the mud kind of, I don't want to say prove, but it's where you can put your knowing into action, and knowing the reactions are opportunities for, again, I'm zooming out in those mirrors to react to, knowing what, like the pitchforks and Frankenstein, and being the Frankenstein that was created by, Dr. Frankenstein. So I know it's Dr. Frankenstein, you're like, but I was created, and why is there pitchforks coming at me and torches? And it's like you're getting this whole orbitory observational space. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense, but hopefully it is inspiring nonetheless. So that horned, sorry, I just wanted to bring out one more card and we will close out, I promise. The horned cactus, resourcefulness. It's like still being able to protect oneself. And like, maybe for some I'm hearing you've just been a prick. I don't mean to be so rash, but maybe even to yourself, you've been prickly to yourself. There's something about water and hydration. Because with that buffalo and the spirit of wisdom coming through, it's like the buffalo runs into the storm, right? To get to the other side quicker. And that's like when I go back into the scrying, to the ink. I think I'm willing to go within to this introspection. So when I come up through the mirrors of reflections, like the introspection and the reflections, and I'm observing, but it's only within myself because I can't control others. And nor can, it's like being that in that whole space of not pushing anything on people. It's weird. It's like there's an elder way of going about this. It's non-aggressive. It feels communal. It feels maybe a little confusing, like a labyrinth from this bird's eye view. And you're like, oh, as you're stepping out, it's like, what is all this confusion? And but realizing the labyrinth moves energy through the community, the collective consciousness, and it serves and it surrounds the heart, the resource that is reflective for all to receive from, how they wish to receive, and make choices from that point. I'm going to leave it here so I don't ramble on too long. I do hope this inspired or irritated alike. Until next time, subscribers, again, thank you so much for being who you are. Your presence is powerful, and may you have met a message with meaning. Until next time, I'll see you again soon. Bye. Flowers are the hieroglyphs of nature. They tell us how much we are loved. Yeah, Grandmother Earth, I love that. Yes.